Thank you very much, Perry. Good morning, friends, brothers, sisters. It's an honor to be invited to speak here today on this important International Day of Mourning. I would like to also acknowledge that we are gathered on Treaty 6 territory, land that our Métis people share a very deep connection with. And today I am bringing greetings on behalf of Alberta's NDP caucus. And I see several caucus members are with us. We have Chris Nielsen and John Carson and likely others in the crowd who I have missed. My apology, friends. We are so thankful for the Edmonton and District Labour Council for all the work that you do keeping workers safe in our province, keeping workers healthy while they do their jobs. And so thank you so much for having me here at Grant Notley Park for this important day. I wish that these ceremonies were not necessary. Each of us goes to work every day and we expect to come home safely at the end of that work day. When we leave our homes, where we hug our partners or our children goodbye, we don't expect it to be for the last time. And yet sometimes it is. Last year, for 162 Albertans went to work expecting to be kept safe. Or they worked their whole lives expecting their health to be protected. And we know that any death in the workplace is one too many, and we owe it to these families to do our absolute best to keep their loved ones safe. As Perry was discussing, for too long in Alberta, workplace safety wasn't on the forefront of government decision-making. Our labor laws remained stagnant and out of touch with the rest of the country. Everyday working families fell through the cracks because of this. Our occupational health and safety laws had not been comprehensively reviewed in 4 decades. Our minimum health and safety standards were below those of other provinces. And today is a very important reminder of the real costs of outdated workplace safety laws, and it's a call to action to all of us to do better. Over the years, I have heard too many stories of our system failing those it was meant to protect. Working people built our province, and these workers deserve to know that their government is in their corner and has their backs. Now, of course, that's why we updated and modernized all of Alberta's labor laws. All of those standards not only increase workers' rights, but they ensure that they have the same protections as every other worker in Canada. Now, joint health and safety committees will be mandatory for work sites with 20 or more workers. Fuel prepayment is keeping gas station workers safer in our province. Workplace violence and harassment is clearly defined, and prevention plans are required. And OH&S is investigating harassment complaints. These changes are making our workplaces healthier and safer. But we also need to make sure our workplaces are fairer. Before, if you lost a loved one in a workplace incident, you may not have been able to take time off to grieve. Employers were not required to give their workers bereavement leave. Now workers are entitled to more unpaid leaves, including to mourn the death of a loved one or to care for a sick or injured child. Labor groups have been calling for stronger labor laws for years, and we listened. After talking to Albertans about potential changes to OHS laws, much of what ended up in our new legislation was in line with the recommendations from Albertans and from our brothers and sisters in labor. Workers facing domestic violence can get support from their employer. Workers suffering from psychological injury will find it easier to apply for workers' compensation. Mandatory joint worksite health and safety committees will give workers a voice. Workers will have the right to refuse dangerous work, plain and simple. These changes were brought about with your help, and we will never stop defending the protections we have put in place. The new Alberta government must continue to enforce the laws and work in consultation with employers to provide safe workplaces for Alberta. And should they not, we will all work together to make sure they understand the importance of keeping our province's workers healthy and safe. The safety of employees should never be sacrificed in the name of economy.
Hear, hear. That's right.
So we're committed to ensuring the protections put in place are not weakened or repealed, and to advocate for more where necessary to make sure that all workers are kept safe. So thank you to everybody who is here for your commitment to Alberta's workers. Thank you for your advocacy. I hope as we take the time today to honor those we've lost too soon, that we are all within ourselves recommitting to that shared goal of making our workplaces safer and healthier across the province. With your help, we will continue to strengthen our health and safety policies and continue to ensure that working people in this province are getting the respect and the support that they deserve. Thank you very much for having me here.